And the winner of the Best Single Poem from the Forward Prizes for 2019 is Parwana Fayyaz.
"40 Names" was one of the most unusual stories I grew up with, and the hardest to write. All my thanks goes to my parents, Agayjan and Buboyjan, for telling me the story. Thank you, Yvonne Bolen, Michael Schmidt, Mary Sansaloni, Shabnam John, the rest of my dearest siblings, the wonderful judges, and you, the valuable readers and listeners. This poem remembers the sacrifices of those women who have suffered in silence, and their silence are unrecorded. And like those mountains in Afghanistan, where every rock is seen to look like a woman in crooked possession with her veil, and like some of the names that appeared in this poem as precious stones, yet they stand tall and visible. This poem, in essence, universally narrates of the injustices brought onto humans, especially impacting the most vulnerable members, the women and children, and the most horrid time of history, in the wars, especially the ones that never end. I am in the most fortunate position to have found the language and the courage to write stories as such, to commemorate their sacrifices. And I thank you for your share of commemoration. Thank you. 40 names. 1. Zeb was young. Her youth was all she cared for. These mountains were her cots, the wind her wings, and those pebbles were her friends. Their clay hut, a hut for all the 8 women, and her father, a shepherd. He knew every cave and all possible ponds. He took her to herd with him. As the youngest daughter, Zeb marched with her father. She learned the ways to the caves and the ponds. Young women gathered there for water. The young girls with the bright dresses, their green eyes were the muses. Behind those mountains, she dug a deep hole, storing a pile of pebbles. 2. The daffodils never grew here before. But what is this yellow sea up high on the hills? A line of some blue wildflowers and a lane toward the pile of tumbleweeds. All the houses for the cicadas. All your neighbors. And the eagle roars in the distance. Have you met them yet? The sky above, through the opaque skin of your dust, carries winds from the mountains. It brings me a story, the story of 40 young bodies. 3. A knock. Father opened the door. There stood the fathers. The mothers' faces startled. All the daughters standing behind them. And the pit of dark night, their yellow and turquoise colors lining the sky. Zebun, my daughter, take them to the cave. She was handed a lantern. She took the way. Behind her, a herd of colors flowing. The night was slow. The sound of their footsteps, a solo music of a mystic. Names: Sadiqa, Hakima, Roqya, Feroza, Zarina, Shabacht, Zara, Shadocht, Zamarud, Zainab, Yaqut, Zahra, Nigina, Maryam, Zari, Zamin, at last, Zebun. 4. No news, neither drums nor flutes of shepherds reached them. They remained in the cave. Were people gone? Once and every night, an exhausting tear dropped, heard from someone's mouth a whim, a total silence again. Zeb calmed them. Each daughter crawled under her veil. Slowly, the last throbs from the mill house also died. No throbbing, no pond, no nights. Silence became an exhausting noise. 5. Zeb led the daughters to the mountains. The view of the thrashing horses, the brown uniforms, all puzzled them. Imagined the men snatching their skirts. They feared. We will all meet in paradise with our honored faces. Angels will greet us. A wave of colors dived behind the mountains. Freedom was sought in their veils. Their colors flew with wind. Their bodies freed and slowly hit the mountains. One by one, they rested. Women figures covered the other side of the mountains. Hairs tucked, heads stilled, their arms curved beside their twisted legs. These mountains became their cots, the wind their wings, and those pebbles their friends. Their rocky cave, a cave for all the 40 women. And their fathers and mothers disappeared.